Hello everyone. I'm going to sit back just a little bit more, get comfortable, as I'm going to encourage you to do in a moment. Get comfortable. Welcome to this Wednesday session of the Blissful Warrior, our midday yoga practice. I'm Rhonda Aretsky. I am the owner of River Flow Yoga. This is a hot yoga studio located in Lambertville, New Jersey. And I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. And for the moment, which is all there ever is, the present moment, our studio doors are mostly closed. We are beginning to open a little bit, allowing people to use our Migun therapy bed by themselves, which is quite an amazing device. I have to say, it's like instant bliss. But our yoga classes are continuing to come to you right here live on Facebook. So we're doing yoga with you virtually. And you know, one of the best parts of doing this, we certainly love having all of you join us and all of you write to us and tell us how much you're enjoying these practices. And we do this practice. This is the Blissful Warrior, and I'll tell you about that practice in a moment. We also do hot yoga, because you can practice hot yoga virtually. We encourage you to get a little space heater, although here in New Jersey and probably where you are, it's a bit of a heat and humidity wave out there. So chances are you'll find a spot in your home that really gives you the heat and humidity that will benefit you as we guide you through the poses, the 26 poses of the hot yoga practice. We also have a practice called Yoga Nidra, designed to get you into restful sleep. So of course this practice happens in the evenings. And I must say that, again, we love sharing these practices with you. But we, the teachers of River Flow Yoga, all 7 of us, are sharing our practices with you. We notice, and we hope that you notice as well, that these yoga practices are not just for in the studio. They're not just for the time that you set aside for exercise or moving your body. These are practices that you take into your life that help you to live the life that you actually came here to live, even in these chaotic times, even in times when every time you step outside or read the news online or engage in a Facebook discussion, you come away feeling more rattled, more unbalanced, more wobbly. These practices really help you to find your grounding within yourself. Now, everybody has a different ground level. Everyone has a different set point, and I call that set point meaning the place where you feel like yourself. And whatever that set point is for you, yoga, these practices that we are sharing with you, are ingeniously designed to bring you back home to yourself. So as we do these practices here on our Facebook page, we are doing them because they are our practices. They are the things that we have known after years and years of practicing. And for me, it's 45 years of practicing yoga and mindfulness and meditation and various other kinds of spiritual and physical practices. These are the things that help you to feel like yourself no matter what the conditions are outside. So welcome. The Blissful Warrior practice is a practice that I have curated as a result of my 45 years of studying and practicing and teaching and mentoring in so many different kinds of yoga and spiritual and meditative and mindfulness practices. I have found for myself and for the thousands of students that I've taught at this point in my life that there is something about these practices that not only settles you in your body, in your physical body, but also in your brain. And of course, there is so much research these days. In about the year 2000, sometime about 30 years after I started practicing, scientists became very interested in what actually goes on in the brain and in the physical functions of the body when you practice yoga and deep breathing and mindfulness techniques. And yoga, as it turns out, is very, very healing for the brain. Different parts of the brain will actually respond to different kinds of breathing and different kinds of yoga movements that you do. And we're going to practice some of those today in this Blissful Warrior practice. So Blissful Warrior, what exactly does it mean to be a blissful warrior? Well, in my opinion, if you're going to be adamant about anything in your life, if you're going to take this warrior position about anything in your life, let it be that you're going to be adamant about your ability and your availability to be blissful, to be feeling as soothed as you can in the present moment. And every moment is the present moment. And so in every moment you have an opportunity to bring yourself into this blissful state, this soothed state from which you can live your best life. Now, by blissful, I don't mean bouncing off the walls happy, or although that could be your state of being right now. It always depends on where you start. By blissful, I mean that feeling inside of yourself that you're home, that you are yourself, that you are maybe a little bit more soothed than you were in the moment just a moment ago when you joined this practice. Let that be your one and only goal if you need a goal. I'm not a big fan of the word goal. It sort of implies a certain kind of effort or a certain kind of struggle. And I believe that all of this is a lot easier than we make it. And just by examining our own bodies, by scientists looking at the way our bodies function autonomically without our intervention, we do get to see that things do happen a lot more easily than we thought. Even our state of health is something that our bodies are tuned for and always moving towards. And so again, if you're going to have a goal, let's call it an intention for this practice that you do with me, let it be that you are going to feel more like yourself when you finish than when you started. That you're going to find a little place of soothing where you can sort of rest your being and you can remember what it's like to be yourself. And let that be the person that you take into the rest of your day. So, let's arrive here in this practice. Have a seat. You can sit on the ground. I'm sitting on a cushion, and I always recommend for all the new folks who are joining us just today that if you'd like to begin learning to sit on the ground, grab a cushion, place it right under your butt, and sit forward on the cushion so that your hip flexors are sort of melting downwards a little bit, and your knees, even though they might still be off the ground, are sort of aiming downwards a little bit. You can place your palms in your lap, left palm under, right palm on top is traditional, thumbs touching, but you can try palms on your knees, palms down, palms on your knees, backs of your hands on the mat, on your knees with your palms up. If you'd prefer not to sit in a chair, I want you to honor your preferences. I don't want you to struggle or force yourself to do anything that you think you should be doing. Because remember, the intention of this practice is to soothe yourself. And if you push yourself, if you struggle to do things that don't feel like they're right for you in this moment, there is no soothing in that. And the only way to arrive at soothing is to be soothed all along the way. You can't have a happy journey, a happy ending to an unhappy journey. So we're going to take the happy journey today. Does that mean that you won't feel anything happening in your body? The exact opposite. You're going to feel some amazing things happen in your body as we do this practice, and they will all feel natural to you. So if you tend to think of yourself as someone who's stiff, broken, inflexible, too old, too creaky, too wobbly in your balance, not focused enough, whatever those things are that you happen to characterize yourself as, we're going to leave that person outside this practice. We're going to come in here completely open to the ability to soothe yourself. So, sit in a chair if you'd rather not sit on the ground. See if that soothes you. If you sit in a chair, I recommend you try having both feet on the ground. So that might be sitting a little forward in the chair. As you have both feet on the ground, you're soothing your nervous system. This is a physical way of calming the internal turmoil that you feel in your nervous system. You know, when you feel this turmoil on the inside, it may have been triggered by some event or some condition or some person, but there are physical chemical reactions that take place in your body when you're feeling triggered. And to soothe those chemical reactions, you place both feet on the ground. You can also place the tongue on the roof of your mouth. You can do this whether you're sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor. Let your arms be limp. If you're sitting in a chair, try placing both palms on your thighs and just letting your elbow tips bend down a little bit. If you're sitting on the floor, again, you choose your hand position, palms in the lap, backs of your hands on your knees, palms on your knees. If you'd rather not sit at all, if your preference is to lie down, give yourself this ability to want what you want and to prefer what you prefer in this moment, and lie down. Lie on your back. Let your arms be nice and far away from your body with your palms facing up. Allow your heels to lightly touch, your toes to flop apart, your knees to fall to the sides, your hips to sort of flower open. Tuck your chin and place the tongue on the roof of your mouth. So as you arrive here in this practice, I just want you to take a moment to mentally scan for your emotional state. Where are you right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, if 1 was very calm, almost about to fall asleep, and 10 was really agitated, feeling very wobbly or shaky, or depressed, or despairing, or angry, some strong, unpleasant emotion, that's 10. Where are you right now? Just give yourself a number, the first number that comes to your mind. Let's not let this logical mind try to dissect this and explain it and figure it out. Just whatever number comes to your mind right now. You're not here to judge yourself or to compete to get better, not even against yourself. You're simply noticing. Okay. Hopefully you have some water beside you. Right? I know we've already settled, but if you don't have water, please go get some now. And on the way back to bringing yourself back to this practice, take a few sips of water. It's really another one of the wonderful things that you do to not only soothe your nervous system, but to feed your physical body. Every single part of your physical body responds to you bringing water in. Okay, so here we are. Now we're going to move into some deep, deliberate breathing. It seems a little bit obvious, right? Breathing is something that we do all the time. As long as you're here in this body, in this physical plane, occupying this mechanical, whatever you want to think of it as. I don't think of it as mechanics. I think of it as a whole universe of stuff going on inside of you. But as long as you're here inhabiting this, you'll be breathing, and you don't have to think about it. But if you take the time to be deliberate about your breathing, you're going to notice how much control you have over your emotional state. Yoga, the kind of yoga that we're actually going to do today in this Blissful Warrior practice, is really good for your brain. And as we do these different things, I'll explain to you what's going on in your brain. So let's start by taking some deep breaths. Whether you're sitting in a chair, sitting on the ground, lying down on the ground, lying in your bed, keep your eyes open and just now scan a little bit in front of you and find something to look at that feels soothing for you to rest your eyes on. By using your eyes, by using your senses, this is a way that your brain calms your nervous system by actually looking at something that feels soothing. It sort of reassures you that in the present moment, you're in a safe place. So anytime, here's a little tip, anytime you're feeling agitated or upset, scan your room and find something to look at as you're breathing, something that feels pleasant to you. Oh, I'm looking at a pattern right now that feels really nice. Lots of turquoise and black polka dots and yellows. And as you begin to notice this object more and more, your eyes will help calm your nervous system. Okay, moving into breathing. As you inhale, we're going to be inhaling and exhaling through the nose, but hearing this ha sound in the throat, like this. As you inhale, you'll feel inspired a little bit to draw your collarbones a little wider, feeling this traction happen across your chest. And as you exhale again, hear it in the back of your throat, big loud ha sound. allow your chin to drop a little towards your throat. Feel that delicate little stretch that you're facilitating in your cervical spine. Let the tongue rest on the roof of your mouth. So with your collarbones wide and the cervical spine pulling a little bit, drop your tailbone down towards the ground and then tuck it up a little towards your navel. So now you're sort of pulling from end to end, collarbones, top to bottom, cervical spine to tailbone. You begin to feel less wobbly in your body. Inhale. Collarbones wide, chin dropped a little bit. Your eyes are still focused softly on something that feels really pleasant to look at. Holding here, maybe giving another little tug across the collarbones. And exhale, deflate your belly. Hear the sound pass through the back of your throat. Dropping the chin a little, just because we have a habit of continually thrusting the chin forward, especially when we inhale. Ballooning your belly out on the exhale. Feeling the balloon deflate, drop your tailbone. As your belly empties completely, feel your tailbone point to the ground and then tuck it up a little, like you're sort of undulating, curling it a little towards your navel. Feel that little tug. Feel how it actually lifts your chest. Inhale. Big loud ha sound through the back of your throat, kind of like a Darth Vader sound. Exhale. Collarbones remain wide. Chin dropped a little. Belly emptying. Feel this deflating balloon of your belly. You almost feel a little bit of a sinking happening. And then drop your tailbone to the ground and undulate it up a little. Relax your hands, letting your fingers curl. Or if your palms are down, just relaxing your hands and fingers. Inhale. And exhale. Let the corners of your mouth just come into a little smile. Smiling is one of those things that affects your brain. Inhale. And exhale, deflating. Letting the chin drop, feeling the tug at the cervical spine. Belly empties, letting the tailbone drop, and then tucking the tailbone up. Just a little towards the belly, keeping the chin down a little. Inhale. Collarbones wide. You can feel your shoulders come away from your ears by pulling your collarbones wide. Holding here, feeling filled. Exhale. Deliberately making that sound at the back of your throat where you're vibrating this little bone, this floating bone you have called the hyoid bone that actually sends messages to your brain to release neurotransmitters that cascade through your body and dilate your blood vessels, making your heart rate slow. Inhale. Collarbones wide, chin dropped. Tongue rests on the roof of your mouth. Hands relaxed. Exhale. Emptying your belly, dropping your tailbone, tucking it up just a little towards the navel, feeling your chest open even more. Now let's check in again. Remember that number you gave yourself from 1 to 10? When you first sat down, what might you say give yourself right now? Inhale. And exhale. if you notice any change in your emotional state, in your mental focus, in your sense of not feeling so wobbly, feeling a little calmer or more grounded, notice that only took 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, right? We've been here for about 20 minutes now, and I talked for the beginning, so maybe you take 5 or 10 minutes and you have changed your entire emotional state. Now, if you don't notice any change, that's fine. Remember, there's no goals here. There's just awareness. There's just deliberately checking in and seeing more and more how you build this muscle of control over your own nervous system, over your own state of agitation or calm. And that control, that practice stays with you no matter what the outside conditions are. As you get better and better at this practice, you're able to let more and more outside conditions simply be what they are, and you can calibrate yourself into this state of feeling grounded, and then you get to take action from this grounded state. And I promise you, the results that you get from moving through your life, moving in your life, in this state of deliberate control of yourself and the actions that you take will yield the results you're looking for in your life, in your body, in your health and well-being, in your relationships, in just about every aspect of this life that you're living. Okay, let's take another sip of water. I tend not to sip water. I tend to drink water in abundance. I have in my practice 60 ounces of water every day. That's a little more than half my body weight in ounces of water. I find it to be a really useful practice for just about everything, from shiny hair and smooth skin to feeling more calm. So if you'd like to try this practice, if you've never had a practice where you drink a lot of water, for the next 30 days, try drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every day, and begin to check in and see what changes begin to appear for you. Okay, so I mentioned at the beginning of this practice that yoga not only affects your body, your flexibility, your strength, the toning of your muscles, it affects your brain. And there are actually different aspects, different things that we do in yoga to balance the right and left hemispheres of the brain, to bring you back into a state of focus, a state of feeling like your brain is able to deliberately place itself and hold where you'd like to. That's your focus. Your ability to calm your parasympathetic nervous system, and even your sympathetic nervous system. The fight or flight response calms down. The parasympathetic nervous system is the part of your body that controls all of the functions of your body that we don't deliberately control, right? The spleen, the liver, the pancreas, the digestive system, even your heart beats seemingly on its own. That's your parasympathetic nervous system. And so we're going to do poses that will help you to feel your connection to your ability to manage your brain as it manages this function of your life called blissfulness, feeling better, feeling good about yourself and your life. Okay, so let's come to sitting directly on the ground. If you are sitting on a cushion, now's the time to sort of push that cushion away. If you are sitting in a chair, join us on the ground. If you were lying on your back, roll over onto your right side, using your palms to press yourself up into a seated position. And now we're going to come into all fours, starting with a few positions that will flex your spine. That just feels really good. And then we're going to work the right and left sides of the body. Oh, I don't like the word work. We're going to experiment with moving the right and left sides of the body kind of in a diagonal way and noticing how this feels. Now, I can tell you that that kind of movement actually builds the left and right hemispheres of the brain, the connection between them. This corpus callosum that connects the right and left hemispheres of your brain is actually strengthened by these kinds of movements that we're going to do next. And that really helps your right and left hemispheres to balance. And And what you end up feeling as a result is more focused, more ability to focus, and calmer about your ability to be present in this present moment. So let's come on to all fours. We're going to start in tabletop position. So place your palms, your wrists directly under your shoulders, your palms flat on the ground, and about knee-width distance apart, or I should say 6 inches apart, because you will now bring your knees aligned behind your wrists. Place your feet, the tops of your feet on the ground, so no curled toes, tops of the feet on the ground. And move your arms back a little bit. You want your wrist directly under your shoulders, and it's always a little further back than you think. Now looking at a spot in front of you, maybe it's on the wall, maybe it's at an object. Again, finding something that just feels like a soothing place for your eyes to stay. And by that I mean, it's pleasant to look at. All right, lock your elbows and rotate them in, and let's use these triceps and biceps to hold your body weight as opposed to your wrists. And we're not going to put the pressure in the wrists here. We're going to be held by the biceps. Spot in front of you that just feels like a really pleasant thing to look at. For me, it's this beautiful green wall. And we'll start with an exhale. So as you exhale the breath, lock your elbows, rotate them in, and just drop your chin into that little hollow space between your collarbones. Feel like you really want to wedge your chin in there, keeping yourself in tabletop. And now inhale, slowly bring your chin out of that little hollow. So lift your chin, your neck, your face comes back to looking at that object or spot. Your breastbone feels parallel to the front wall. Drop your belly towards the ground. Lock your elbows and stretch your tailbone towards the ceiling. So feeling like you'd like your tailbone to almost touch the back of your head. Feels like it's curling back. And exhale, drop your head, wedge your chin between your collarbones. Play this little game of trying to see your own throat as you round your middle back, creating a big turtle shell on your middle back as your head sort of tucks into the turtle shell. And as you inhale, come back up again, chin, neck, breastbone, face. Sort of lead your breastbone a little forward, but lock your elbows, rotate them in, drop your belly towards the ground, stretch your tailbone to the ceiling, and hold here for a moment, feeling your confidence. And as you exhale, let your head hang, tuck your chin, feel like you really want to nestle it into that hollow between the collarbones, locking your elbows, rotating them in. Raise your middle back all the way to the ceiling. Feel like it's just about to touch. One more lift will do it. Beautiful. And now as you inhale, coming back again, chin, neck, chest, looking forward. Keep inhaling. Raise your right arm straight out in front of you and pull your left leg behind you. So pull with the fingertips, pull with the toes. Keep your chin down, keep that left elbow locked in inward. Pull like you want to touch the front wall, touch the back wall, and exhale. Begin to bring your head down, tuck your chin, bring your elbow in, bring your knee to your forehead. So curling in, hanging your head. And inhale again. Lock the left elbow, bring your chin, neck, chest, arm. Your arm is straight out, fingertips shooting out of your shoulders, toes pointing towards the back wall behind you, pulling, stretching, lengthening, and as you exhale, drop your chin, bring your knee towards your forehead, bring your elbow to your belly. Just tucking in here. And as you inhale, bring the knee down, bring the hand down, and just be in tabletop for a moment. Face looking forward, chin, neck, chest, eyes softly resting, elbows locked and rotated in. Inhale. Exhale. elbows again. Rotate them inward. And as you inhale, slowly begin to lift your chin. Oh, you're already lifted. Let's start with an exhale. Well, you've inhaled already, so let's exhale and just hang the head. Check that your elbows are still locked and rotated in. Notice I had checked mine. And as you inhale, bring your chin, neck, face, chest, left arm up and pulling from the fingertips, right leg back, pulling from the toes. So pull straight forward, pull straight back. If you feel a little wobbly on your right arm, just keep rotating that elbow in and locking as you pull. And as you exhale, drop your chin, bring your knee towards your forehead, bring your left elbow towards your belly. Hang your head. And inhale once again, bring your chin, neck, chest, left arm up, pulling through the fingertips, right leg back, pulling through the toes, pull. Lock that right arm. Sorry, this is the left arm, the right toes. I'm not sure I said it right. And then as you exhale, drop your head, tuck your chin, bring your right knee towards your forehead, bring your left elbow towards your belly button, and hang here for a moment. And as you inhale, come back to tabletop position. Face looking forward, lock your elbows, and inhale. And exhale. So in the alternate use of right and left, you've just strengthened the connection between the right and left hemispheres of your brain. And as we just stand here in this tabletop position and breathe, you're letting that settle in, right? A new set point. And again, so you're not going to be able to, or even want to, measure the strength of your corpus callosum like you measure the strength of your muscles. But what you will notice is more ability to focus, to softly focus on things. Maybe just a little bit more, but a little bit more is all you need. And that's how you build your strength in practice, one small step at a time, getting pleasure from every step. Let's do child's pose. So I'd like you to spread your knees 8 to 10 inches apart. Come off your wrists and into your fingertips. So lightly in your fingertips, looking at that spot on the wall in front of you. Settle your hips to your heels. Pull your elbow tips towards your hips. Bend your elbows and lower your upper body to the ground. Bring your breastbone to the ground. Bring the spot between your eyebrows to the ground. Now release your arms at your sides, bending at the elbow tips, and slump your shoulders, palms facing up. Inhale. And exhale. As you exhale, imagine someone pressing down on your shoulder blades, and you feel your breastbone melting towards the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Now place your fingertips again, elbows pulling towards your hips, and press yourself back up very lightly. Are you surprised at how light it feels to use your fingertips to lift your whole body off the ground? That's your beautiful body. That's how it works. Everything designed to really feel easy when it's aligned. Sit hips to heels if that's possible for you. Remember, what's possible for you in this present moment is just for now. Palms in your knees, palms in your lap, palms facing up. Left palm under and right palm on top is traditional, thumbs touching. Just settle here Now, if it's not practical or possible or able for you to do without pain, sitting hips to heels, sit cross-legged. Remember this, the mantra of this practice, soothing your body back into alignment. Not forcing, not struggling, not even efforting. Noticing how much more easily your body responds to soothing. And that is another word for strengthening. Soothing is not a lazy practice, it's a powerful practice. It's the blissful warrior practice. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, let's come to standing up in a very deliberate way. Bring your arms out in front of you, sort of like two kickstands, leaning into your fingertips. Lock your elbows. Bring your shoulders backwards a little bit. So you're bringing your shoulders away from your ears. Hang your head. See if you can nestle the chin between the collarbones again, in that little hollow spot. Lean forward into your fingertips. Keep looking for your throat. And then roll back onto your feet. So curl your toes. Push off on your fingertips. Coming back onto the soles of your feet. Pushing all the way down from toes to heels. And stay here for a moment. Put pressure in your fingertips, not your palms. Lock your elbows. Rotate them in. Rotate your knees in. We have a little downward dog going on here. And then walk your fingertips back towards your toes. Keep your head hanging. And then start to raise yourself up one small piece at a time. Let your arms hang. Feel as if you've got this slinky in your back and you're stacking the coils very deliberately to get them perfectly lined up so it's nice and slow. Hang your head. Keep your arms hanging. Coming up slowly. Just feel every part of that slinky stacked properly. And then you're standing up, and I have no head. All right, I'm going to adjust my camera. You need not do anything. Just stand there and breathe. You just gave yourself your own little chiropractic adjustment. Not to say that chiropractors aren't not only important, but quite amazing. They're wonderful to have as enhancements in your life, especially if you're doing yoga and chiropractic. But right now, you can't always get to the chiropractor's office. So here you are, giving yourself this beautiful little adjustment on your own. Rotate your palms forward, and let's do mountain pose. Bring your toes and heels about 6 inches hip-width distance apart. Here's how you measure your hip-width distance. 2 fists side by side between your feet. Make all the adjustments you need, and then bring yourself back up. Palms rotated forward, collarbones wide, chin dropped a little bit, tongue on the roof of your mouth. Now tighten your thigh muscles, lift them up. Rotate your knees inward. Feel your stability. Feel how soothing this stability is, how strong you feel, and how calm you feel at the same time. Strength is a natural result of being calm. Inhale. And exhale. Mountain pose. And let's try tree pose. So now bring the toes and heels together. Keep those lower legs, so the lower part of your body, locked by locking your thigh muscles and lifting them up. Keeping your legs locked together nice and tight. Palms still face forward, chins dropped a little. As you inhale, just lock the left thigh and relax the right thigh. Bend the right leg up at the knee. Slide your right hand over your right shin to the top of your right foot. Bring your left hand behind and underneath and let that knee drop. Now at this point, if you feel any pain in your knee, you're going to do something a little bit different than we're going to do right now. If there's no pain, bend your elbow tips, raise your heel, nestle it in the hip crease. You're going to find a little spot just right for your heel. That's how great your body is. Things fit. And then hold your foot from behind and underneath with the left hand as you bring your right hand into half prayer. Now again, you might feel something in your knee. It's okay for it to feel like a stretch. But if you feel any pain, you can bring your right sole on the inside of your left thigh. See if that relieves any feeling of pain. And if that's still too much, it's okay to just place the sole on the inside of your right ankle. Wherever you're holding, here you are, blissfully balanced. Inhale, pull the collarbones wide. Exhale, allow your chin to drop, allow your tailbone to drop, and then tuck the tailbone up a little towards the navel. Just feeling in these tiny little movements, whoops, how much more strength you gain. And so you fall out of a pose. You know what the consequences of falling out of a pose are? Nothing. Nothing. Inhale. And exhale. Lock the right thigh and bend the left leg up at the knee. Slide your left hand down your left shin. Grab hold of the left foot, the top. Bring your right hand behind and underneath. Allow the knee to drop. Then pull the heel high up in the hip crease and notice again if you feel any pain in the knee, you're going to go right here. Sole of the foot on the inside of the thigh. And if you feel any pain, not any wobbliness, it's okay to feel wobbly, but if there's pain, then that foot goes right down here by your ankle. So choosing what is most soothing for you today. Left hand in half prayer, and you're in this pose. Soothing yourself into alignment is a strengthening move. I know we've been told the opposite, right? We've been told that soothing or going easy is lazy and it doesn't get you great results. But for those of us who push too hard, who force ourselves, who make a great effort and struggle a lot, I'd like to ask, how's that going for you? How's that on your anxiety and your stress levels? Let's try soothing and then change. Left leg down, back to mountain pose. Toes and heels apart, that hip width distance. And maybe you've got your footprints on the ground from before, or maybe you want to bend down and measure again, that's fine. Arms at your sides, palms facing forward. Collarbones wide, chin dropped a little. Rest the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Relax your fingers and hands. As you pull your collarbones wide apart, you'll notice that your arms hang pretty far away from your body when they're totally relaxed. It's kind of cool. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's try a balancing pose. Really beautiful. Gosh, there's so many. I was going to do the same one I did yesterday, and now I'm inspired to do a different one. Garudasana, eagle pose. I tell you all the magical things that are happening inside your body as you do this beautiful pose. So, coming back into your body, toes and heels together, lock your legs together, pull your fingertips down to the ground, and continuing to inhale your arms overhead. Palms pressed together in prayer for a moment, and here, pull from your fingertips down to your heels. Just feel yourself being able to lift yourself right up out of your own waist. And as you exhale, swing your arms down and cross them at the elbows and intertwine the forearms, palm to palm, thumbs face your nose. If you don't have palm to palm today, remember what the consequences are. Nothing, but have your thumbs facing your nose so we have the shoulders in the right place. So maybe you're just holding your thumb today, that's fine. Now move your shoulders side to side. Pull the elbow tips towards your belly button. Feel what happens in your shoulders as you do this, the relief of it. Bring your hands close to your face. And as you inhale, squeezing your legs together, bend both knees. Start with a nice deep sit, drop your chin. And as you exhale, muscle today. And bend the standing knee and lower your body down. Sometimes your toes hook, sometimes you don't. This is just an observation of the present moment, not a judgment of it. Sitting and squeezing hands, arms, legs. You are effectively cutting the circulation off to the 14 major joints of your body. When you come out of this pose, there's going to be a fresh momentum of blood rushing through all those joints, feeding them and change. Inhale. Locked arms overhead. Take a moment here to pull from your fingertips down to your heels. Squeeze your biceps against your head. Lift up out of your waist for the pleasure of it. And as you exhale, swing down and cross the left under the right. Forearms intertwined, hands in prayer, thumbs to nose. Move your shoulders. Pulling on your elbow tips. Just make sure your thumbs are facing towards your nose, no matter what you're holding on to with your hands. Squeeze your legs tight, bring your chin down. Inhale, bend your knees and sit. Nice and deep, coming down, and start. The left leg comes up over, around, and maybe it hooks. Now, once your toes have either hooked or not, bring yourself back to center and bend your knee and sit. Feeling the pressure increase. You're increasing the pressure. Hands, arms, legs. Squeezing hard, squeezing hard, squeezing hard. Again, notice that even though you're squeezing hard, it feels like a pleasure and change. Inhale, arms overhead, palms in prayer, and drop your arms down. Let them bounce a little bit. Let them come to rest on their own. Tuck your chin, collarbones wide. Inhale. And exhale. Mountain pose again. Bring your right leg away from the left. Look down so that your feet are parallel, but hip-width distance apart. Pull the collarbones. Let the arms just settle themselves. Rotate your palms so they face forward. Drop your chin. Rest the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Tighten your thigh muscles. Rotate your knees in a little bit. Inhale. Hear it in the back of your throat. And exhale. Okay, we're going to do a little Qigong technique of gently shaking the body, really waking up and calming the nervous system. So begin by shaking your hands, bending your elbows and feeling this whole shake going up your shoulders. Bend your knees a little bit. Now just move your head slowly from side to side. Over your right shoulder, over your left shoulder, over your right shoulder. You're still shaking your hands and shoulders, over your left shoulder. Now looking back at center, shaking your hands, feeling the shake in your shoulders, bounce a little bit on your heels. This is what a wonderful teacher of mine calls rebounding a little bit. Right? Just slightly bouncing. It's almost as if your heels are barely disconnecting from the ground. Feeling the bounce from your heels, shaking your hands, feeling the shake in your shoulders, keeping your chin down a little, the tongue on the roof of your mouth, bouncing a little, and then stop. And as you stop, you don't have to stop yourself. Notice my arms are just continuing a little bit. And eventually they just come to rest. Now take a moment right now to feel the sensation of this. Inhale and exhale. And bring the toes and heels back together. We're going to come back down to the ground. Inhale, turn your palms to the wall behind you. Drop your chin towards your throat. And as you exhale, you're going to begin unwinding that slinky in your spine. Let your arms hang forward. Let your shoulders relax. Let your chin sort of tuck itself in. You're looking for your throat with your eyes. Feeling every coil of this slinky come come apart. Look at your knees on the way down. Make sure that they're rotated a little inward. Thigh muscles feel tight and lifted. Eventually, your fingertips will touch the ground. Bring your arms a distance in front of you. You're in your fingertips and lock your arms as you tuck your chin into the hollow space between the collarbones. Squeeze your legs together. Bend both knees. Place your knees on the ground between your hands. Uncurl your toes, sitting back on your heels. Slide your hands up your thighs. Bring your head on top of your neck. And here we are, palms in your lap. Remembering that if sitting hips to heels doesn't feel soothing to you, then today isn't the day you do it. You sit cross-legged and take a breath. Inhale. Another beautiful pose that alternates left and right, strengthens the brain, and also does a beautiful spine twisting. Sounds violent, twisting, but actually your spine is made to twist. And we don't do it very often in our everyday lives, so when we do this, it's like the spine gets to celebrate its ability to do this wonderful spinal twist. So, sitting on the ground, you can bring your legs out in front of you to start. Pulling from the heels and flexing the toes back towards your face. Place your palms on your knees or below, wherever your palms need to fall in order for your arms to lock, and pull the collarbones wide. Good. Feels great. Now, bend your left knee so this left knee points towards the front, like right towards me. If when you bend the knee, again, you feel this torque in the knee that's too much for you today, too much meaning doesn't feel soothing. Stretching actually does feel soothing. Feeling something happening here feels soothing. Pain does not. Then you bring your leg back out and keep pulling from the heel. So you make your choice. The right leg is up and over, the right heel against the left knee corner. Pulling your heel out from under your right hip and settle both hips to the ground. Check to make sure. Can't fit any fingers under there, then both of your hips are settled and you're in a good place to begin. Bring your right arm behind you. It's like a kickstand, nice and locked. Bring your left arm up by your ear, pull to the ceiling. Bend the left elbow, come down around the outside of the knee. Push that knee back a little bit and reach your hand down and place all 5 fingertips on the ground. So lock your left arm. So now your right arm and your left arm are both locked. As you inhale, lift your chest. Begin to drag your right shoulder behind you, drop your chin, and as you exhale, turn your head and look over your right shoulder. Now the trick here is to just keep looking for the very next thing. Just don't let your eyes settle in any one spot. Inhale, lift from your chest, pull your collarbones wide. Exhale, both arms are locked, and you're twisting, and looking over your shoulder, and looking for that next thing, and twist. Gosh, I just want to stay here for a really long time and change. All right, let's come back and do the other side. So you can either bend your right knee or you can keep your right leg straight out ahead of you, pulling from the heel and flexing the toes towards your face. Left leg comes up and over. The heel touches the knee corner. Pull this heel out from under. Settle yourself down onto that left hip. Check with the fingers. If you can't get any fingers under your hips, you're settled. Left arm is behind you like a kickstand locked. Right arm by your ear, reach for the ceiling. Really feel the pleasure of reaching up out of your own waist and then bending that right elbow, pushing the knee away, reaching your hand down and placing the fingertips on the ground and locking now both arms. Both arms locked solid. As you inhale, lift your chest. Pull the collarbones wide apart. Drop your chin, tongue is resting on the roof of your mouth, and as you exhale, turn your head and look over your left shoulder. Remember the little trick. You're never going to let your eyes settle anywhere. Wherever they're looking right now, you look for the next thing. Inhale, lift your chest, collarbones wide. Begin to draw that left shoulder behind your back, and as you exhale, twist. Twist. Look for the next thing. Keep your eyes moving, twist, and change. Coming back to center. And now just sitting still for a moment. You can can sit cross-legged, you can sit hips to heels. Take a breath. Inhale, collarbones wide, chin down. Hear the breath in the back of your throat, and exhale, deflate your belly. Allow your tailbone to drop. And when your belly is empty, bring your tailbone up a little bit, like you're tucking it towards your navel. Feel that little lift you get in your chest. It almost feels as if you're hovering over your heels. Feel light in your body. This is how you were meant to feel. The pleasure of having a body, not the trauma of it, not the agony of it. So with that, let's lie down in final Shavasana. You guys are going to lie down. I'm going to stay seated so I can talk you through grabbing my pillow, this beautiful final Shavasana pose. Hello, Mark. So lying on your back, arms at your sides, palms facing up. Let your arms slide far away from your body. There's something really beautifully soothing for your nervous system about sliding your arms on the floor, touching your own body. These things feel really beautifully grounding to your nervous system. Palms face up, fingers curled naturally, allowing your chin to drop. Here you pull your collarbones wide apart so you can feel both shoulder blades on the mat as you inhale, balloon your belly out. And exhale, just put your mind on that deflating balloon. Feel your belly emptying, keep your chin tucked a little bit, your arms are relaxed, and allow your lower back to drop as if someone slipped their hand under the small of your back and they ask you to drop down into it. Inhale, balloon your belly out. And exhale, deflate the balloon. Notice that your collarbones are still pulled wide as your arms are relaxed, fingers curled naturally, chin tucked. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Sometimes it is more soothing to keep your eyes open. Just try not to look at the ceiling. Look down the middle of your body as you drop your lower back into that hand. And inhale. Balloon the belly out. Feel the rib cage expanding. Collarbones stay wide, shoulders stay down from your ears, and exhale, deflate. Hear that breath in the back of your throat. Drop your lower back. And now just mentally check in again. Remember what number you gave yourself on that activation scale of 1 to 10 when we first started this practice 55 minutes ago? Where would you say you are right now? Remember, 1 is very grounded, very calm, feeling like yourself. And 10 is really wobbly, activated, agitated about something. What number would you give yourself now? If you notice that there's been a change in the number you started with and the place you are right now, terrific. If you notice there isn't a change, remember the consequences are none. You are here to notice yourself in the present moment and to find this beautiful practice of being deliberate about being in the present moment where you get to be yourself. The blissful warrior, being adamant about your ability to be a little more soothed, a little more blissful, a little more yourself as you go into the rest of your day. So as you lie here breathing, I'm going to leave you with a final reading from my book, which is called The Blissful Warrior. And this is a book that I wrote about my own experiences with mindfulness practice and yoga during a challenging time in my life. So let's see what page we open to today. Stop denying yourself. Eat what feels good to you in this moment. Your appetite is accurate. Your perfect diet? Feel good when you're putting the food in. It's not what you eat, it's what's eating you. Food is not a test, not something to defeat or prove yourself worthy of by resisting. Food is a treat. Feel worthy and let your food nourish you. Nourishment is an inside job. Stop making your diet your story of deprivation. You were meant for more. Feel your way to feeding yourself. Feel delicious. Feel satisfied. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. What a beautiful thought about food. If you're just about to eat lunch, let this food nourish you. Let it be a treat for you. It's not something you have to deprive yourself of. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this Blissful Warrior yoga practice as much as I did. I'm here every day sharing this practice with you, middle of the day, 12:30-ish to 1:30-ish, 5 days a week. This is my particularly special practice, the Blissful Warrior. Notice that we also have hot yoga 5 days a week, might be 6 days a week. We have it on Saturday morning when I teach it, and the other teachers at Riverflow Yoga during the week. And then we have Yoga Nidra on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. to ease you into sleep. So again, as the doors to Riverflow Yoga, the studio in Lambert, will remain mostly closed right now, the virtual Riverflow Yoga doors are wide open, and you are welcome to join us in this practice, in all of our yoga practices. If you have any questions about any of the poses, any of the discussion today about how yoga affects your brain chemistry, anything at all, feel free to put it in the comments, to private message me. I do take into account what people request when we do these practices in terms of specific body parts you'd like to work on, or anxiety, or anything else. I promise you that yoga and mindfulness has an answer for you. And we're here to share those answers with you. I'm Rhonda Uretsky, Riverflow Yoga. We hope to see you here again